Describe the appearance and behavior of the funny man in the poem. The funny man is described as wearing a shoe on his head and hats on his feet, which is quite unusual. He politely raises the shoe to greet the poet and calls her Your Highness. He offers a currant bun as if it were a rose and sings a strange, funny song. Finally, he hops home on his head, showing his playful and whimsical nature. How does the poet react to the funny man's unusual behavior? The poet is surprised and amused by the funny man. When he offers her a currant bun as a rose, she staggers back in astonishment. She is curious about his hats on his feet and questions him. The poet's reaction shows a mix of polite confusion and delight at the man's whimsical, unconventional actions. What role does humor play in the poem? Humor is the central theme of the poem. The funny man's odd dress, strange behavior, and playful actions create a light-hearted and amusing atmosphere. The poet's repeated use of the word funny highlights the humorous effect. Humor here invites readers to enjoy silliness and imagination, reminding us not to take life too seriously. Explain the significance of the phrase funny sounding sight in the poem. The phrase funny sounding sight combines contradictory senses, sight and sound, to emphasize the strange, surprising nature of the funny man. This unusual phrase captures the poet's amazement at seeing something so odd it seems almost like a sound, reinforcing the poem's playful tone and the man's whimsical character. How does the poet use rhyme and rhythm to enhance the poem? The poem follows a clear rhyme scheme which creates a musical and rhythmic flow. This rhythm makes the poem enjoyable to read aloud and adds to the playful, humorous mood. The consistent rhyme also helps emphasize keywords like funny and sight, drawing attention to the poem's amusing and light-hearted nature. What does the funny man's behavior tell us about his personality? The funny man's behavior shows that he is playful, imaginative, and unconcerned with social norms. His unusual attire, polite manners, and silly actions suggest he enjoys making others smile and surprises them. His hopping home on his head reflects a carefree and joyful spirit, highlighting the importance of fun and humor in life. Why might the poet have chosen to include dialogue in the poem? Including dialogue makes the poem more engaging and lively. It allows readers to hear the interaction between the poet and the funny man directly, making the scene vivid and immediate. Dialogue also adds a personality to the characters and helps express the humor and surprise through their words and reactions. How does the poem challenge normal expectations? The poem challenges normal expectations by presenting a man who behaves in unexpected, silly ways, wearing shoes on his head and hats on his feet, offering a currant bun as a rose, and hopping home upside down. These absurd actions invite readers to question everyday logic and enjoy the creativity and playfulness beyond normal behavior. What feelings does the poem evoke in the reader? The poem evokes feelings of amusement, curiosity, and delight. The funny man's odd actions and polite manners make readers smile and enjoy the whimsy. The poet's surprise and playful questions encourage readers to look at the world with a lighter heart and appreciate the joy of harmless silliness. How does the poet reflect the use of imagination in everyday life? The poem celebrates imagination by showing a character who breaks conventional rules with humor and creativity. The funny man's actions remind readers that imagination can brighten ordinary days, bring laughter, and encourage us to see the world differently. It highlights how playful thinking can transform simple moments into joyful experiences.